Hey everybody, it's Megan from I Love Bodywork doing 30 ideas in 30 days to increase your health, happiness, and wellness. And today is day 26 and it is part two of 10 ideas for working with your anxiety and panic. So yesterday, part one, we covered therapy, your diet and water intake, working with getting better sleep, more sleep, better quality sleep, positive communication with yourself and others, and then a reminder that after this video, I'll be posting my positive communication video, which you should definitely watch. It's been doing mantras and positive communication with myself has been super helpful in working with my anxiety, controlling my anxiety and panic. And then meditation was the fifth one. So for today, let's just get started. Number 6 is boundaries. How do boundaries help you with your anxiety? People with anxiety, including myself, often feel like sometimes we don't have control of things. And what happens is that when we start to get like anxiety in the brain and the head, we become very sensitive to things, and having boundaries with other people creates clear-cut ways of interacting with the people in your life and the way that you interact with yourself to help limit unexpected events, to help limit things that are within the boundaries or within the realm of control. So having boundaries with your family about things that you're trying to do or not do, having boundaries with your friends about places that you go or you don't go. And boundaries don't have to be like this like very hard cut thing, right? It could just be like, I am not doing this thing because it causes me anxiety, or this is not something I'm doing exposure therapy with. I am not going to this place. I need you to respect my boundary for not calling me or inviting me to certain places or doing things, whatever it might be. But basically, how you figure out if you need boundaries is if there's a situation that you don't feel very good about, an interaction that you don't feel very good about. That's a little alarm about something that you might want to set a boundary with, or somebody that you might want to set a boundary with. So a few days ago is when I did the boundary videos. If you want more information about boundaries, go back and watch that video. So number 7 is working with drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, anything like that. Drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes are going to make your anxiety worse. An uncontrolled addiction is going to make your anxiety worse, not only because of the mental aspect of it, but also because of the physiological way that drugs, alcohol, cigarettes affect our bodies, right? Whether the drugs are uppers or downers, but alcohol is a depressive. Cigarettes are uppers. So when you have anxiety and you have states of panic, the goal is to always find a state of neutrality and balance, right? Trying to control our emotions and the way we feel, not in an unhealthy way, but from a place of emotional control so we can make better decisions, so we can make rational decisions about the things that we want, so we can meet our goals and we're not constantly hindered by feelings of anxiety, by depression, by panic attacks. So working with drugs and alcohol could be its own video. I'm not a drug and alcohol counselor, so I'm not going to go super far down that path. However, I did post another video about working with feeling comfortable, getting comfortable being uncomfortable, and just starting there and doing that exercise is a very helpful thing to do if you're thinking about, going down the journey of either going sober or lessening the amount of drugs or alcohol that you're doing, if whatever it might be, if you want to quit smoking, things like that. But if you feel like you don't have control of your anxiety, your depression, and your panic, you need to seriously take into consideration working with those addictions specifically, finding somebody to help you, or finding different groups. There are, of course, groups in every single city, nonprofit groups, go to an AA group, go to an NA group, anything like that, that can get you started so you can get professional help and support. Number 8 is exercise. So exercise is interesting because if you go online and you Google like what's good for anxiety and panic, exercise is one of the top things on the list, right? They're like, exercise helps you to release some of your anxiety. What I'm going to say though is some people who get into panic loops have a hard time exercising, and I was one of those people. So before I started like this major panic attack loop that I got into 6 months ago, I was exercising like crazy, like 2-a-days, running, spin classes, yoga, weightlifting, just exercising like crazy. And then when I got into this panic loop and I started working out again, the biological symptoms that I have when I have extreme anxiety are similar to what happens to your body when you're working out. So I was popping off panic attacks in the gym, and it took me a while to gain control and belief that my panic attacks were not actually killing me. And if you had a panic attack, then you understand what I just meant by that. And gain enough understanding in time. So while exercise is really good for anxiety, and it's very good for my anxiety now, just be aware that that is a thing. So if you're fresh and new to working with your anxiety, or this is something that just kind of came out of nowhere for you like it did for me, then just be careful about your exercise. Don't not do it. But also, if you know that you're having panic attacks and you go to the gym, I can almost guarantee you that you're not dying on the treadmill. Like, that's your anxiety and panic that just came in, because I had a panic attack like that where I was like, I'm allergic to my sweat and I'm dying. Like, it's insane what your brain thinks up in those moments. But in general, exercise will help your body to feel better. It will help to stabilize and create homeostasis in your body. It would also definitely help your sleep and put you on a regular sleep schedule. And then having a good exercise routine will also help you to keep a good diet routine, water routine. It helps you to become your own cheerleader as you progress through your exercise. So you're also practicing positive communication. And it just in general creates a good balance for your body and mind. Number 9, the Dare book, right? So the Dare book is a book by Barry McDonough. I have a hard time pronouncing his name. McDonough. I'm going to post a picture of it in the video for this thread. So this was a book that I read right when I was still in like the depths of my panic loop, meaning day-to-day anxiety. I didn't know when my next panic attack was happening, but it was going to come who knows when. And the Dare book is basically his written experiences about dealing with his panic and anxiety, and then it's an acronym, DARE, to help you when you're having anxiety or when you're having a panic attack. And it was one of the best things that I had used in the very beginning, period. I definitely believe that one of the most helpful things that I did, even out of all the things, including therapy, was reading this book and practicing this methodology that he uses. And it's so easy. And it brings this concept of anxiety down to earth. You feel like you're not alone. You feel like you're heard. You feel like you're not crazy. It's a really good book. So again, I'm going to post that information on this thread, and I would highly recommend that you go check it out. So last one is number 10 is your support. So support and boundaries kind of go hand in hand, because when you're dealing with anxiety and panic, let's just say anxiety, right? So we'll say that the anxiety loop of like, or the panic loop of like anxiety, panic attack, depression, anxiety, panic attack, depression. You need the support that's the best support for you at that time. And people who have not gone through this, no matter how well-meaning and well-intentioned they are, might not be the best support for you. I have a couple of support buddies who are people that have gone through therapy and have anxiety as well, and you know, they're the people that I can immediately text or call if I need some help in a moment. And then of course, like my therapist, you know, I consider him part of my support team. I have a lot of set boundaries with my husband as far as when I need his help and when I don't need his help. but you want to make sure that your support team is actually supportive of you. They have to be supportive of you. This is not about, you know, who can be like the best friend game, or who's the best family member, who is, you know, letting you do whatever, getting away with whatever. It's a really interesting thing that sometimes the support you need is not the support that you want, and sometimes the support that you want is not the support that you need. So it's paying attention to who are the people that help you to feel different in a good way, right? Not who are the people that you feel obligated to let them help you. And that's where boundaries come into it. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap of the 10 things that I suggest. And again, most of these have longer videos if you're interested in more information. So number 1 was therapy. Number 2 is getting a cleaner diet, decreasing your sugar, increasing your water. Number 3 is sleep, better sleep, more quality sleep. Number 4 is positive communication with yourself first off and foremost, and then with others, to help change the basically the way that we think about ourselves in space, and to be kinder to ourselves to decrease our stress and anxiety. Number 5 was meditation. Number 6 is boundaries. Number 7 is working with drugs and alcohol, cigarettes, if that's something that is a problem for you or an issue. Number 8 is exercise. Number 9 is the Dare book by Barry McDonough, which I will learn to pronounce his name at some point. And then number 10 is support, having support, accepting support, but making sure that the support that you have is the appropriate support for what you need to make the best changes and to make the most positive changes that you possibly can to decrease your anxiety, to decrease your depression, and to come into a state of balance that allows you to live your best life and the best version of yourself that you can. Thanks so much for listening. Our next video is day 27, and it features Abigail Spinner McBride. Her and I are talking about positive communication and giving some examples of positive communication with yourself, with others, in business, mantras. We talk a little bit about mantras, and she is a beautiful, highly educated, highly experienced woman, so I definitely recommend that you check that video out. See you later. Bye.